Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another banging episode of Talking That Nonsense with your host, me, Michael. That was a terrible intro. But anyway, looks like we're on our 75th installment of Talking That Nonsense, Never My Wildest Dreams, the 75th installment, and the second true installment of the Wolfbeard Saga. I know for the longest time, we've put this saga off for the longest time, like I just said. But I think now, these next upcoming episodes, I think we're finally going to put it to rest. I am not sure how long this episode is going to be because I know that I am most definitely going to be taking my time and not rushing. Because before, I always wanted to do this, and this, and this, and this, and wanted to make sure that, I got these stories out exceptionally fast. But some people don't want these stories read fast. Some of these people want to put me on in the background and want to listen to me. And that's something that I can understand. That's something that I can get behind. So, without further ado, let us begin. One more thing, actually, before we begin. I'm actually starting off where we left off, however many episodes ago, because I know before this, when I tried to read this section, I kind of got like so flustered and gave up on it, and I ended up doing something else. So, if you care to go back that far, you can, or you just want to, start off where we're starting off. Either way, we're just going to start off in the middle, because I have this marked down from like a month and like just about 2 months ago from where we stopped. So, without further ado, Wolfbeard returns. The Wounded Beast, Story 2 of the Wolfbeard Saga. Sorry, that's disgusting. Alright, here we go. My other friend, who I'll call Lilith, her D&D moniker. I guess I'll be sticking with these nicknames, this nickname theme, ha ha ha, is still one of my best friends to this day. We met after I moved from my old town, and we rode through absolute wilderness. That was our edgy high school emo years together. You get that kind of, you get through that kind of crap together. You'll either want to forget about it, or you either forget the other ever existed, or you'll be blood brothers for life. We're both grown but adults now who practically live in replicas of the Addams family house. Though, so maybe the phase never really entirely left us or didn't hit us as hard, like a slow burn that permanently infected us. But I digress. We're a couple of spooky female dogs that'll ride or die together. And god dang it, if Whipbeard didn't make us ride through hell. So Lilith and I piled into my car and made the trip over to Miss Piggy's. I had already warned her about the filthy state of the place. Yeah, it was pretty filthy. And you better believe I had told her all about Wolfbeard's nonsense. But rather than be apprehensive, Lilith maintained an incredibly amused air about the whole thing. Lilith is a capture. No, I'm reading the headlines. Yeah, Lilith is a creature that has mastered all 12 circles of sass. Is an entity that is suspect to be composed of nothing but sheer concentrated spite. So I got the impression that she was actually disappointed that the beard would not be available for viewing in its natural habitat. However, to her delight, things that evening took a turn from what I was expecting. You see, when I pulled into the parking lot of the oh so familiar batter zone of an apartment complex, I spotted no one but two cars in front of Miss Piggy's unit. There was Miss Piggy's car, and next to it, plain as day, was Wolfbeard's car. A wave of rage, yeah, bubbled over, bubbled, yeah, bubbled, no, yeah, bubbled up in me. burgled, burbled. I'd say burbled up in me, and I froze in my tracks, no longer wanting to participate in the visit. Lilith, however, looked positively ecstatic, and grabbed my arm, yanked me towards the unit. When I finally got to the door, I knocked a little harder than usual, my irritation apparent. However, Miss Piggy didn't seem to pick up on it in the slightest, and when she opened the door to greet us, they were oozing proudly on the couch was none other than Wolfbeard. Lilith nearly looked like Christmas had come early, hoping hoping upon hope. Wait, Lilith, that's a weird name. Lilith nearly looked like Christmas had came early. Hoping upon hope she'd get to see him bark or climb out of another window. I, however, was not in a good mood about the matter. A little curtly, I asked. A little curtly. Yeah, that's curtly. A little curtly, I asked Miss Piggy. I thought Wolfbeard was joining his dad on a camping trip this weekend. Miss Piggy. Well, he was, but when I told him you were coming over today, he decided to stay home instead. The way she said that, as there was the way she said that, as if it was nothing even slightly unusual, practically ran my blood cold, as I was living in the Twilight Zone. Why the heck would Miss Piggy tell Wolfbeard I was coming over when I expressively told her he made me feel uncomfortable and didn't want to see him? So, yeah, that's a good question. And didn't want to see him. Didn't want to see him. What's more, why was she okay with him seemingly being enamored with me? That he'd canceled out on a trip that he was so seemingly enamored with me that he'd cancel out on a trip with his dad he had previously been super excited about. The whole thing just didn't sit right with me. As per usual, the moment I entered the room, Wolfbeard's eyes laser focused directly on my chest. However, moments later, his gaze shifted to the new figure behind me. Upon spotting Lilith, it was his turn to look like Christmas had came. Hello, my darling Wait, I'll see if I can do the neckbeard voice again. Hello, my... Hello, my darling Calamity. He chirped, picking up on that stupid, affirmated mocking accent again. Oh, I said affirmated, feminine. Yeah, effeminate mocking accent again. I must say you look positively appetizing as usual. That's disgusting. The way he said appetizing dang near set the hairs on the back of my neck standing straight up. He shifted into what I imagined he thought to be a seductive pose on the sofa and narrowed his eyes at me. But I must say, who's that absolute snack behind you? Lilith shot a look of pure euphoric amusement at what her eyes were witnessing before stepping forward and introducing herself. Hi, I'm Lilith. I'm Calamity's friend from high school. It's nice to meet you. There was absolutely no subtlety when Wolfbeard's eyes shifted down to Lilith's cleavage. Dude, I can't take it anymore. Lilith's cleavage. Let's so weird. Lilith. At Lilith's cleavage. If my tall and slender frame is busty, Lilith's shorter and curvier frame is positively voluptuous, to say the least. What? And oftentimes her choice of wardrobe only emphasizes this. It was all too much for the poor beard. My cats are playing in the background again. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my cats. Sensing a new female in his territory, the mighty Wolfbeard began his usual courting rituals, praying himself, prying himself off the sofa like a wad of chewing gum baked in the sun. He waddled to the side to usher miladies to the now vacant seats. Gallant as he likely saw the act, the clear he clearly defined his wait, the clearly defined sweaty butt print left. Let me read that again. Gallant as he likely saw the act, the clearly defined sweaty butt print left smeared into the fabric of the sofa left us more than a little hesitant to take a seat. So he instead opted to sit in a circle. So we opted to sit in a circle on the living room carpet. To precisely no one's surprise, Wolfbeard her Wolfbeard hurriedly mo- Wolfbeard hurriedly worked to shove himself in between Lilith and I. He sat crisscross while leaning back, his arms coming behind and dangerously close to touching Lilith and I. The next hour proceeded to be painful. The next hour proceeded to be painfully slow and filled with an absence amount of vulgar jokes. With an obscene amount of vulgar jokes. An obscene. God, I can't freaking read. I'm sorry. Filled with an obscene amount of increasingly vulgar jokes, commented by Wolfbeard. It seemed that as much fun as Lilith had initially thought the scenario would be, this beard was far more powerful than she had first anticipated. It was he was a creature of dark magics, older magics, and these unholy forces broke through even her seemingly unimpenetrable, war-hardened emotional battle armor, leaving her shifting uncomfortably and looking at me for an escape. At this, I took my window of opportunity to flee. I told Miss Piggy that Lilith and I had something come up and we had to go. She seemed a little disappointed by the sudden departure, but accepted and bid us a goodbye. However, it was Wolfbeard's that really seemed to be the most upset by this. His shoulders dropped and he looked down to the floor, his dirty golf cap casting a heavy shadow over his round face. You really have to go so soon? He asked in a quivering voice. Yeah, sorry about that. I was bonded with zero interest in feeding into his act. At this, at this, with great effort, he worked his way up into a standing position before beginning to waddle in our direction. That's a real shame. He almost. Wait, what? That's a real shame. He almost whimpered. I gave up spending time in the great wilderness to be in a in the great wilderness. I gave up spending time in the great wilderness to be able to hang out with you. And you should know what a big deal that is for me. My kind need to run wild and free in the forest. It's in our blood. It helps us keep control of the beasts. Lilith shot me a look, but he kept approaching us. Well, it's very well in the least. Yeah, well, in the very least, can you give me a hug before you go? Before I could protest, his moist, flabby arms were crushing around me, pinned my arms to my side. I was enveloped in a cloud of body odor that I previously never would have thought possible and had to fight the powerful urge to retch. He squeezed way too hard, as if he was trying to smash SCP was trying to smash me as close to him as possible before finally releasing me from his bear trap of a grasp. Then, approaching Lilith with the same expectancy, despite her having literally just met him, she, however, wasn't quick enough to evade and found herself smushed in the same stinking embrace had been in there just moments before. As soon as he was released, the two of us fled to my car. However, over my shoulder, I called for Miss Piggy to join us for a moment. Quickly, she hurried out and around the corner to meet us by the car. Once there, I sort of opened up the floodgates on her. I told her that I was really irritated that Wolfbeard was there after she all but promised he wouldn't be, and the Wolf wouldn't be, and that I was sick and tired of all the gross comments he constantly made, and how he tried to touch me all the time, and I was always mentioned how he's been making Lilith uncomfortable as well, and I firmly stated that I didn't want to have to be around Wolfbeard again. I didn't want to have to be around Wolfbeard again if he couldn't control himself. The scene must have been intense to any onlookers. We were in Pacific Northwest. So even though it was the beginning of summertime, it was a gray and cloudy day, and it had begun to pour down heavy rain. However, the drama turned up even more a moment later when we heard what sounded like a cross between a wounded cry and an attempt to howl like a wolf. I looked out across my window to a corner of the building. Wolfbeard had crept from behind Miss Piggy at some point and had been listening on our discussion. Apparently, my declaration of not wanting him near me, unless he could refrain from attempting to grope me, was too painful of a blow, and he dramatically ran off towards the wooded trail behind the apartment complex. Seeing this, Miss Piggy legitimately started to sob and cried over him for him to come back. But it was no use. The alpha beard had fled into the forest beyond, likely already transformed into a powerful beast to brood in shadows. Seeing Miss Piggy in near holistics, Lilith and I felt it would have no choice but to take her back inside and try to calm her down. She was rambling and raving about him and his condition. We can't leave him alone out like this. When he transforms, while too upset, he can be reckless and he could get himself caught. It's not safe, she sobbed. After 15 minutes of controlling a distraught Piggy, her phone rang. Seemingly to no one's but Miss Piggy's surprise, it was Wolfbeard. She dramatically cooed into the phone as he asked where he was and if he was okay. Having trouble hearing him, she switched the phone to the speaker mode. What next met our ears was the most pathetic sounding croak I've ever heard in my life. Piggy, I need help. My transformation was too quick and emotional, and I lost control. I ran wild and aimless, and in my pain, and somehow I've got myself stuck. I ran into a clay flat, and the rain has made it like a tar pit. I'm stuck, and my transformation has weakened me too much to get out. Please help me. I'm growing weaker, yet he dramatically finished before hanging up the call. At this moment, Miss Piggy went absolutely nuts, screaming that we needed to call an ambulance or the police, or to go rescue him. It took 10 minutes to calm her down, and she had only did this after I called her brother and asked him to go check the woods behind the nearby school for a wolf beard. As the trail from the apartment complex connected there. He agreed, and eventually Miss Piggy calmed down enough that Lilith and I felt it was okay to finally leave. I didn't know what had happened to Wolfbeard, but I knew it wasn't anything as dramatic as he had made it seem. And as I didn't want to play into his ploy for attention by being seen as waiting for him upon his return, though I was not there for his revival, Miss Piggy's brother, who despite his wackadoodle sister is actually a pretty normal and nice dude, later called me to retell the harrowing journey, and oh, what a journey it was. You see, it was raining something awful that day, and it did make the trails terribly mucky, but there was no dangerous tar pit like Clay Flat to trap emotionally distressed werewolves. No. When Miss Piggy's brother went to go check the trail behind the school, he found Wolfbeard face down in a literal mud puddle. His phone. God. He found Wolfbeard face down in a literal mud puddle. His phone in his hand dramatically held out as if he gave out as if he gave out to the elements, well, calling for help. Apparently he was none too happy to see Miss Piggy's brother there instead of us. Apparently he was none too happy, and all but himself single-handedly yanked his oversized girth out of the puddle himself. To this day, I can't get the mental image out of my head of a grown-butt man plotting out a plan to make those heartless women feel so bad that I have to apologize and spend all their extra time with him, stalking through the rain and the windswept behind the trail of a forest, searching for the perfect mud puddle, and then carefully nesting himself face down in it, carefully to keep his phone clean. The sight must have been spectacular. But I digress. This was just the first of Wolfbeard's spectacular tantrums, and this was before he had even confessed his feelings about Milady. You see, he doesn't give up easy, and if he beached himself in a shallow slob puddle wasn't enough to force me to love him, he would have to try a different approach. But that's another story for another day. I'll catch you again next time for part 3. Oh no. I don't know how I should feel about this. So I got a stuffy nose. It took us don't you even think about it, kitty. It took us about 2 months. Don't even think about it, kitty. Go. Go, kitty. Go, go. Go, kitty. It took us about 3 months to read story 2. Oh, you must have just got done taking a sip of water because your face is covered in water. It took us just about 2 months to read Wolfbeard Returns, The Wounded Beast. Stop licking my fingers, kitty. I love this cat. Go. Go. Because what he's going to do, him and his big blobby mass, he's going to walk across my keyboard and he's going to irritate me. I'll play with you in a minute. What are you doing? Stop licking me. I just got done cleaning. Stop licking me. Stop licking me. 1 second, you guys. Come here. There. Okay, sorry. So I have a rope. I keep hitting the speaker. I have a rope in my room. It's about, I don't know, about an inch thick or 2. And my cat loves to play with it. This is the only thing he'll play with is a rope, and he's rather large. Like, I love my cat. And he likes to play with this. So it kind of occupies his time a little bit. And moving this rope around and getting him to chase it. Moving this rope around and getting him to chase it is actually quite nice. But his claws, I need to cut his claws. What do you have, the hiccups? Got the hiccups, Goober? Didn't get the hiccups. What are you doing, buddy? Your tail's like whipping. Bro, how did he catch that? How did bro catch that? I tell you. Oh, he's gone now. Cats have opposable thumbs. I tell you. They work. For a large cat, he's rather nimble. So I never spend time underestimating this cat. This cat, oh come on. In my room, so these two live with me. And most people think it's difficult to house cats within their bedroom. And you must think, oh, it stinks. No, it doesn't. So the trick is, you scoop the litter I scoop the litter like twice a day, one in the morning and one at night. And they're living here. Well, it's not. It must not be healthy for them to be. I know what I can understand where you're coming from with that. It just comes down to I guess it really just comes down to like how we do our physical activities. Because Figgy, the black and white one, he doesn't have any problem chasing or moving. And Stitches, he doesn't really have time to like sit around. He's always on the move. I think he moves more than Figgy at times. Figgy is short for Figaro. Such a nice name. Like we have Figaro, and then I would change Stitch's name to Maestro. I'm kidding. They're gonna keep their names. Because for cats that were already pre-owned, I guess it sounds weird when you say it, but for cats that were already pre-owned, it's really hard to like get cats to listen if they do listen to a name. Because after a while, I guess cats will hold on to that name. They'll be like, hey, like if I go Figgy, he'll turn his head and he'll come to me, literally. Watch. Don't. Sorry. Got snacks. There. Okay, I gave him some snacks. I give him snacks here and there. These two goobers love to watch TV, so sometimes I keep the TV on before I go to work. They're actually really nice cats. They're adorable. The giant meatballs, all they want to do is cuddle when they first start to get comfortable and laying in like when they start. I guess it's too cold for them. But when they first started to get comfortable in my room, like really, really comfortable, they start to lay in my bed with me. They still do from time to time, especially when it gets really cold or they get really bored or they feel like they haven't had enough of me. I'll have them laying with me in the bed, but I don't know. It's been a minute. Was it good? Come here, Goober. You don't like scratchies that much, do you? Nah. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You both do. I love these cats. Hope you know that. Careful. 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 You can't jump on it this time. But, like, it's nothing personal. But, like, if I had the choice to save some people or my cats, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm probably going to save my cats. Okay? I'm probably going to save my cats. I love these cats. These cats have contributed so much to, like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, come here. These cats have contributed so much to, like, my mental stability. Get out of his butt. Sorry. Get out of his butt. Don't lick his butt. Boys, don't start. Don't start. So they'll sit there and start being weird, and one will start tapping on the other, and then one will be like, stop it. Oh, just calm down. Both need to chill. It's like those guys can't be close. Like, they don't have any. When I get home sometimes, they're laying on my Can you leave him alone? They'll be laying together on one of my dressers, and they'll be side to side. One will be one in front of the other. They'll be close together. They'll be cuddling each other. Can you stop looking so evil, please? Can you both stop looking so evil? Because, like, you look at them. You know how cats look through their brow sometimes? You know how people look through their brow? Literally, Figgy is looking through his brow right now, and he looks so menacing. I guess it's all about intimidation sometimes. Just leave him alone, please. If he doesn't want you to touch him, then don't touch him. See, we're all chill here. We're all calm. You know, I was sitting there having somebody talk to me about cats, and it was like, yeah, I have one guy cat and I have one girl cat, and my brother has 2 cats too. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, both of them are guys, and I swear one of them is gay. And I said, excuse me? He's like, yeah, the cat acts way more feminine than his brother. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He grooms himself. I said, all cats groom themselves. He's like, oh no, it's just the way he grooms himself. It's something. He grooms himself in a way a female cat would. Oh, that was pretty pristine. I'll give you that. Thank you for jumping over it. But he's like, he grooms himself in a way a female cat would. And I said, how do female cats groom themselves? What's the difference? Don't lick anything on my desk until I wipe it down, you tosser. Stop it. I don't know what they be licking on my desk, but there's like, stop licking whatever on my desk. I don't know what could be on my desk. I don't want them to get sick. They're weird. They're weird. I swear. These cats. These cats are going to be the death of me sometimes. But ultimately, I hope the goal is they're here longer than me, if anything. Because I tell you, these cats, I feed myself a delusion that these cats will be here forever, and these cats will help me. And even before this, I have another cat. Her name is CJ, and she doesn't really come around to my room too much anymore, which is quite sad. Because these cats, she feels like her territory is threatened, so she spends most of her time downstairs. And I said, okay, CJ. Stop licking whatever. Go. Scoot your boots. I don't know what you're licking. There's nothing sweet on my desk. I keep my desk pretty sweet. I try my best not to eat in my room. I'm literally the only one in this house that can really eat in my bedroom because I don't like food in my bedroom, okay? Not naming any names, but you know it's bad. Not naming any names, but you know it's bad when your siblings have mice. If you guys ever had mice before in your bedroom, downstairs, maybe I can understand. But in your bedroom, no, okay? Maybe if you live in a field with field mice, maybe. But okay, like, even if that is the case, for a person that eats a lot of food in their bedroom and leaves scraps and garbage everywhere, and then you see a mouse, you'll be like, okay. It could be one or two things. It could be the fact that we live in a field. We have a pretty big property. We do live behind the big woods, okay? Our grass gets pretty big. It's either we live in a field, because during the summer, mice can get pretty bad. Or it's because you're so unclean. And this is never seen before. We've never had mice upstairs in our house before. Never. So for us to have mice in the same specific room that always has garbage and food and muck in it, it makes sense. That's believable. There's a reason for that. That doesn't just happen because, oh, it's just a field mouse. No. Go upstairs, go there, look at the bed or look at the accessories to the bed, and you see mouse poop everywhere. Like, okay, this guy's been camping out here for a long time. It's not just a little pile. I'm talking about all up and down the bed. It's disgusting. But I digress. Things happen. People lose track of time. That what we're just going to chop it down to. Lost track of time. I guess whatever makes us feel better in the end. Anyway, it looks like our time here has almost expired. So much for that. Well, we are underneath an hour, but I expected it to be like 45 minutes, 60 minutes, just about. But no, well, my senseless babbling when I tried to read this story. I hope to God, nobody ever tries to listen to the Wolfbeard Saga legitimately through my channel, because I feel like, to me, it's the formatting, because it's just a wall of text in my eyes. Sometimes I have trouble concentrating, and the font's so small. Some of it's squinting, and sometimes I lose, after a while. And I think we can all agree that if you stare at something for a while, everything in your peripheral vision will start to warp. So if you're sitting there staring at these words, everything in my peripherals will start to warp. So everything starts to warp, and I lose track of time. Not time. I lose track of like where I'm at. Sometimes I know the word in my head and I say a different word because I'm looking at another word. It's weird. It really is. It really is weird. The way I read sometimes. But I can read, like, if I'm reading a book, I can read the work. I can read the book out loud. I don't have a problem with that. But it's just Reddit for me. It really is. But I swear to God, when I'm working on getting a camera, like an actual camera, stuff like that, better camera maybe, dude, we have so much things planned, okay? Also, like, for the uninitiated, we have a little something, something coming up soon. Not coming up soon. We have that. That won't be here for like months from now. I won't be here until July. But if you guys are ready, you guys are ready to. If you guys haven't seen the undocumented trailer yet, it wasn't even the trailer; it was a teaser. But it's 7.10.24, 7.10.24. It was a teaser to Undocumented. It's a new series. So we have some time. So we'll get it all fine and dandy and put together, and hopefully, we'll get more. Trailer might be coming out next month. Who knows? But like I said, time here is expired. I want you to go do something that you enjoy. Not what are you doing? But not right now, because it's like the current temperature in Ohio right now is 19. It was like 4 degrees with like -5 degree wind chills. So don't go outside, matter of fact. Stay inside, keep warm, play board games, watch TV, play video games. Because at the end of the day, nobody's more important than you. Then again, my name is Michael, and you've been watching Talking That Nonsense. Same thing that I've been preaching for the past, well, now 75 episodes. Be good people, alright? Have a good day, everyone. Yeah, quit being stupid.